Hello everyone and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we're going to wrap up our reviews on the 2014 range of LEGO Star Wars products, and we've got a really cool set to give you a look at in this review. It's none other than this one, set number 75043, the AT-AP Walker, or the All-Terrain Attack Pod. This has got to be one of my favourite sets from 2014. Everything about this one is absolutely fantastic. LEGO have perfectly captured the look of the Walker from Revenge of the Sith. They've captured all the appropriate details, the proportions, all that sort of stuff. It's a great looking set and definitely one that I'd recommend picking up. This set currently retails for $59.99 and the amount of pieces included are 717. So the price per brick ratio is certainly above average. You definitely get enough plastic for your buck. And yeah, like I said, this is a really cool set. One thing to point out is the fact that obviously with this being a 2014 set and with the influx of 2015 sets that are slowly but surely making their ways onto store shelves, this one probably won't be around for much longer. So if you want to pick this one up, I highly recommend that you do so sooner rather than later, because as I said, probably around mid-year this one won't be available. So you'll definitely want to pick this up as soon as you can. As I said, this is a highly recommended set, and one of the main reasons for that is the fact that it includes some fantastic minifigures. Now sadly the Battle Droids and Super Battle Droids outnumber the amount of human and alien minifigures that we get in this set, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. As you can see, that is the front of the box, and if we come around the back, obviously we have a rundown of all the features and sort of action shots of the set itself as well. As I said, this is a highly recommended set. For as long as I can remember, the AT-APs have been one of my favourite walkers from the entire Star Wars galaxy, so I'm really happy to see a very cool and updated version from LEGO. And as I said, for a LEGO set, this one is very highly detailed, and I'm a big fan of this one. So, enough talk, let's take a look at the set itself. And as always, we're going to kick things off by taking a look at the minifigures that are included. Now firstly we have this guy. This is of course Clone Commander Gree, based on his appearance in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Now I've got to say, this has to be one of my favourite LEGO minifigures of all time. The detail, the likeness to the clone trooper that we see in the film, everything about this guy is absolutely superb. He's a really cool looking figure, and as I said, one of my favourites from the entire LEGO Star Wars line. As you can see, first and foremost, we do indeed have the silver and green helmet. Very cool looking indeed, with the light green visor in place. It's obviously the Phase 2 helmet based on the clones as they appear in Episode 3. One thing to point out is the amount of detail that is on this guy is just absolutely mind-blowing. The fact that they've managed to cram so much detail into a figure this size, really puts Hasbro to shame, that's for sure. The paintwork, the printing on this guy, absolutely spot on. They couldn't have done a better job with this one. As you can see, you've got all the camouflage on the torso and on the legs. You've got the strap for the holster printed on there. You've got the braces on the front of the chest, which of course do indeed reach around to the back of the minifigure. Again, all those plates, thermal detonators, the camouflage print, everything just looks great on this minifigure. He's absolutely awesome. Can't say enough good things about this one. One thing I will quickly point out about this minifigure is if you don't want to spend upwards of £60 or dollars on the AT-AP just to get your hands on a Commander Green minifigure, you can indeed purchase this one individually now as a keychain at the LEGO store. So I'll include that in a link in the video description, just in case you want to purchase one of those for yourself. In terms of accessories, Clone Commander Gree comes with his macro binoculars, as he is seen using in Episode 3 during the Battle of Kashyyyk, and he also comes with a blaster pistol as well. Obviously the helmet is removable, and underneath we do have the standard Clone Trooper facial print, looking very disgruntled prior to losing his head at the hands of Yoda. It's a very, very cool minifigure. I could probably spend a good 20 minutes talking about how awesome this guy is, but we've got some other figures to take a look at, as well as a very cool set as well. So that's Commander Gree. Next up we have the Wookiee warrior, Tarfful. Now, I don't recall a Tarfful figure ever being released from LEGO. If there was, it must have been several years ago when I wasn't collecting it. But this is a very, very cool figure, and regardless of whether or not he is brand new or an update, you know, it's a new figure for this set. New parts, new paint job, and a very cool one at that. As you can see, like with Chewbacca minifigures that we've seen in the past, the head and torso are connected as they are sort of uniquely sculpted. As you've got all the detail of the fur and what have you on there. Obviously you've got the bandolier strap in place as well. You've got those prints on the strap itself. You've got some very cool decals on the shoulder plates, and as you can see around the back of the figure, you've got those famed Wookiee dreads. It's very, very cool indeed. One thing I really like about this guy is the fact that they've highlighted some of the fur. You've obviously got the white teeth printed as well now. So very, very cool indeed. Really goes nicely with the updated Chewbacca that we saw in the droid gunship. As you can see as well, very similar to the Neimoidian warrior from the Vulture droid set that I gave you a look at. This guy comes with the sort of musket weapon, which looks more at home in a LEGO Pirates set, for example. But obviously with the Wookiees using a more organic, sort of natural technology for their weaponry, this weapon does look right at home with the Wookiee warrior Tarfful. So another great figure, and again he looks fantastic alongside Commander Gree. Now of course Tarfful and Commander Gree are going to need some enemies to fire at, and those come in the form of, yet again, some more battle droids. Now, as you know, if you tuned into any of my previous reviews, I'm not a huge fan of the LEGO battle droids. They're a little bit boring and really don't do much for me, and needless to say, the upcoming LEGO droid, I think it's the droid troop carrier or something like that from episode 1, and you get around 20 or 30 battle droids in it. Oh, that's my worst nightmare. It looks awful. Really don't want to spend that much money on that, but obviously clones and Wookiees and all that sort of stuff, they need some cannon fodder, and we get it in this set. As I said, it's just a shame that the battle droids sort of outnumber the Republic forces that we get. As you can see, we do get 2 regular battle droids in this set. We've got the standard trooper, and we've got a battle droid commander. Now the only difference between the two figures is obviously that the commander has the yellow flashes on the top of the head, and also the tiny yellow dot on the chest. And of course, each battle droid does come with a blaster pistol. So those are the dreaded battle droids. Dreaded for all the wrong reasons. But there we go. And of course, we do indeed get a super battle droid as well. Now obviously the super battle droids do look a little bit cooler, but they do suffer the same fate really as the regular battle droids, in the sense that I've seen way too many of these to care about them. So yeah, it is what it is. So a decent variety of minifigures, but obviously the real highlight in this set is of course Commander Gree and Tarfful. Commander Gree maybe more so. So that is the minifigures. Now let's take a look at the set itself. Now what we're going to do with this one is, as with most of my LEGO Star Wars reviews, we're going to take a look at the set itself. We're going to take a look at all the features that it has, and then near the end of the review we'll zoom in on it and we'll analyse some of the finer details. So first and foremost, we'll kick things off with the top of the vehicle. We do have this rather large and impressive cannon. Now this cannon does indeed fire a rocket. We have the flick fire missile in place on the top there. That's the only missile that this cannon actually fires. The rest are just there for sort of decoration and detail, but they do look very, very cool, very impressive indeed, especially this big hefty turret at the front there. That looks really, really cool. Obviously on the top of the cannon there you do have a seating area for your clone trooper minifigures. If we come around the back, you'll see there is a panel with a sticker on it indicating the control panel there, which if you want to take your Commander Gree minifigure, you can place him on the top and whoops, there goes the missile. Have him operate the cannon on top like so. Very, very cool indeed. Now the cannon itself can actually rotate. However, LEGO have integrated a really cool feature onto this set that locks the cannon in place so that when you move this one around, you know, the cannon doesn't swing and slide and flow around all over the place, which is really, really good in my opinion. As you can see on the back there, you've got that sort of ball and socket joint which just disconnects like so, and that allows you to rotate the cannon freely like so, which is really, really nice. This is actually a feature I would have liked to have seen integrated into the Umbarian mobile heavy cannon that I previously reviewed. You know, the cannon on top of that vehicle spins around like a wild thing, and you know, a sort of secure lock would have been welcome on that set as well. But a really cool bit of engineering there on the part of LEGO. In addition to the cannon on top of the vehicle, we do indeed have a blaster underneath as well, which is on a ball and socket joint, and you can pose that as you wish. You know, it rotates 360 degrees, it pivots, it pretty much goes in every direction that you would want it to go to in order to blast away those battle droids. In addition to that, we have some opening panels on the ATAP itself. These panels are located on the sides of the vehicle. Now, I believe there are 6 panels in total, and 2 of those are very small panels which just open up like so and give you a bit of a preview inside the ATAP. Now, obviously there is an interior in there within which you can place your minifigures and use this as more of a play set, but obviously these small panels on the side just allow you to see inside there without having the whole thing opened up. So that's a nice little display option for those of you that collect these sets. As I said, the panels themselves do open up, 2 of those located there, and obviously we have 2 more located on the side in the forms of these rather large panels like so. And then we have another panel up top. Now I'm only going to open one side up because these can be quite tricky to open and close, but as you can see, that gives you a nice look at the interior of the ATAP. And one thing to point out that you're not going to be able to see in this review because of all the shadow is the fact that inside the interior of the Walker is a really nicely detailed control panel which actually features a diagram of the droid gunship, which is a really nice touch. And as I said, it doesn't look like there's much room on camera, but once you've got this thing in your hand and you're playing around with it and putting your minifigures in there and stuff, there's plenty of room to use this as a play set. You know, it can double as a battle station, if you will. It's really, really cool. So don't let the images that you're seeing on screen at the moment fool you. One thing I will briefly mention is the fact that the minifigures that are included in the interior there don't actually come with this set. They're from the I'm telling fibs there. They are from the Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack, I believe, from 2014. I've just put those in there to give you an idea of how you can display those figures inside. So yeah, I'm really loving those opening panels. I love the fact that you can see inside the ATAP, although as I said, some of those panels can be incredibly tricky to open and close, and 9 times out of 10 when I've tried to open them up, the panels just fall off, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's not really a deal breaker. It's not enough to put me off the set. So that's just about it for the sort of upper body of the ATAP Walker. Obviously on the back you've got some very cool detail. Again, some more panels there which open up, but again, those can be quite tricky to open as they do open outwards and they kind of get caught on the legs and all that sort of stuff, but it just allows you to see into the interior of the ATAP from the back. Now, down below we of course have the legs. As you can see, that panel's just fallen off there. Seal that up. There we go. Now, down below on the ATAP we do have the legs, and as you can see, the ATAP is a tripod. So it's got 3 legs, and the third and centre leg of the ATAP can indeed be retracted up inside the body. Now at first glance you'd think that when you push the leg up inside the body, I'm hoping you can see this on camera, it can be quite fiddly, but when you push the leg up, it kind of just tends to flop back down, so you'd think, well, surely it's supposed to stay in place. Well, again, Hasbro have come through, not Hasbro, Lego, sorry, have come through and they've included this sort of latch on the back of the ATAP, which just drops down and allows you to lock the leg in place once it is fully retracted. And as you can see, that latch there just captures that part of the foot up inside the body, and just allows it to stay in place like so. So you've got a three-legged walker. Now sadly, unlike the Hasbro version of the ATAP, these large legs at the side don't extend to make a taller walker, so you are kind of stuck with it at the size that it is. That's the only downside to this vehicle in my opinion. You know, I would have loved to have seen some articulation in the legs there, which allow you to make the walker a little bit taller, a la the Hasbro version. But again, it's not a deal breaker, it doesn't put me off the set at all, and it still looks absolutely fantastic. So I do believe that's it for features. So as I said, now that we've run through all those, let's take our standard 1080p HD zoom in on this thing and analyse some of those finer details. So once again, you've got all the detail captured on the ATAP from the movie. Again, I absolutely love the turret on top where you can place your clone trooper minifigures. That looks great. As I said, that lock which allows you to seal the cannon in place. All these mechanical details on the back. Everything about this one is really, really cool. And again, for a Lego set, they've managed to capture a ton of the vehicle's detail in this set. So, as I said, not really, well, too many good things to say about this one, and I'll probably go on a big rambling spree if I don't shut up soon. But it is a fantastic set, definitely worth every single penny that this one costs. Again, it does cost around £60 or dollars depending where you are, so some of you may turn your nose up at that, but once you start building this thing, you see how substantial the build actually is. And even the sheer size of the vehicle once it's done. I mean, this is the same size as my head, and I've got a pretty big head. So this is really, really good. You know, it's a decent size. As I said, a substantial build. If you can appreciate some of the engineering that's gone into some of the mechanisms of the vehicle, you know, you're going to have a lot of fun with this set, and you're really going to appreciate it once it's all put together. So definitely recommend picking it up. And again, as I said, with it being a 2014 set, it's not going to be available for much longer. So grab it while you can. So that is going to do it for set number 75043. Once again, that's the back of the box, the ATAP Walker from Lego Star Wars. I really hope you've enjoyed having a look at this one, and I will be back in my next review to give you a look at a 2015 Lego set from Star Wars Rebels. So I've got some really cool things to give you a look at, and we'll be looking at some Hasbro figures and vehicles and so on and so forth in my future reviews as well. So be sure to stay tuned, and as always, until next time, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.